So this is going to be recorded separately, and then I'll stop the recording and do a new one for chapter 9. So this is called the coordinate system. This is called the x-axis. This is called the y-axis. This is called the origin 0, 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the negative numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are negatives. This is -5, and so on and so forth. This is called the quadrant 1, the first quarter. This is called the quadrant 2. This is called the quadrant 3, and this is called the quadrant 4. And I explained to you guys how to plot the points on this system. You need the x and y. For example, if this is 1, 2, it will be like this. 1 is the x, so you go 1 unit to the right, and 2 is the y, you go 2 units up, and that will be your A. B, let's say 2, 3. So you go 2 units to the right and 3 units up. And this is the point B. And if you have at least 2 points, guys, you can construct a line. So if I connect the points A and B, guys, I can get a line. As you can see, this line extends indefinitely from the left and extends indefinitely from the right. And I explained to you last time that lines have a slope, have a steepness, how steep the line is, how high it is, how low, how steep. There is a way to determine the steepness of the line. What we do, we find something called rise over run, which is called the slope. And here's how you find the slope, guys. You take 2 points. From the first point, you draw a horizontal line until you write underneath the second point, and from the second point, you drop a vertical line. This is called the rise, and this is called the run. And the slope of this line, if you like, it's called M. How much is the rise here, guys? Can you tell me how much is the rise?
1.
1. Look, it's a difference between 2 and 3. And how much is the run, guys? It's the difference between those 2 points as well. 1 as well. So your slope is 1. It is a positive slope. Your slope will be positive when you move to the right and you see the line pointing up. If you move to the right and you see the line pointing down, your slope will be negative. Now, here is another formula to find the slope. If you take the point A and call the x and y x1, y1. If you take the point B and call the x and y x2, y2, your slope can be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. However, guys, I'm not going to require that you find the slope by hand. It's going to be all done on the calculator, but you need to understand what the slope is. Now, if you have a line like this, watch. This line, let's say this is a 2. Let's say this is a point here, 1, 2. And let's say this is another point, 2, 2. See, this is a horizontal line. If you see a horizontal line, guys, the slope of a horizontal line is 0, no steepness. Now, if you like me to find out why it is 0, watch, we can use the formula. The formula says y2 minus y1, so 2 minus 2 divided by 2 minus 1, which is 0 over 1, which is 0. So when they say that a road is not steep, that means the road is horizontal. You're driving on 100% horizontal road. That's what the steepness means. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna draw two lines, guys, and I'm gonna ask you to tell me which one is steeper without finding the slopes. So here's one line. I'm gonna call it L1. This is a second one. I'm gonna call it L2. This is X, and this is Y. So which line is steeper, guys? L2 or L1?
L2.
Does everyone agree? L2 is steeper. Just think of going up on the roof, guys. Which one is easier for you to go up onto? It's L1, so that means it's less steeper. So yeah, L2 has a larger slope. Okay, let's do another one. There you go. Which one is steeper, L1 or L2?
L2.
L2, although L2, the slope is negative, but it's still steeper. This one has a positive slope.
And the slope be negative.
This one will be negative slope. Because it is pointing down. As you walk to the right, the slope is negative. So that's a negative slope. One of the questions, guys, that you will see when you do your work, he'll give you two lines and tell you which one has a positive slope and which one has a negative slope. So this is negative because as you move to the right, the line points down. This is a positive. As you move to the right, the line points up. But even if it is positive, it's not as steep as this one. Okay. Always, when you think of the slope, think of it as the pitch of a roof, and think of which one is safer for you, you know, just to go up onto. If you decide one is safer, that means it's the one that with the smaller slope always. Okay, so this is a positive slope, but L2 is steeper line than L1. All right. So if we have 2 points, guys, you always can draw a line that connects them. So you need 2 points in order to sketch. One point would not be enough because you can run so many lines through 1 point. So if you have 2 points, you can easily draw a line that connects the 2 points. Now I'm gonna draw some points, guys, and ask you a question here. I'm gonna just use a quadrant 1. So ignore this. I want to put some points. This is X and this is Y. Let X is hours. It's called hours. And Y is dollar amount. Is there anything you notice here? Is there a pattern that you can notice? What's going on here?
The points are clustered?
Yes, but what does it tell you? As you can move to the right, you see the points are going up. What's going on?
Slope.
It is a positive slope, but this is hours. As the hours increase, what's happening to the dollar amount?
They're also increasing.
It's also increasing. That's an observation. More hours, more dollars. Yeah, you can think of it, just an hourly rate. So, and as you work more hours, just you get more money. If I connect the points, does it seem like, the points fit on the line, although they're not perfectly fit, but you guys agree with me that they seem to fit on a line? Would you say yes or no to this? Look,
Yes.
yes. It's not a perfect line. Not every single point, just fit on that line, but they seem to be related through a line. As X increases, Y increases. When this happens, we say that there is a linear point stands for a line, guys. There is a linear relationship between X and Y. If you recall, guys, in the first project that I gave you, the last question, I explained that. And I say, if you notice that all the points are connected so that as X increases, Y increases, then they are connected through a line. Or even if X increases and Y decreases, they are connected through a line. So there is a line where most of the points gather around, and this line is called the line of best fit. And if you want me to draw the line, it will be probably something like that. And this is called a line of best fit. Your calculator is going to be able to sketch this line shortly, so you will see that. So here you can say that there is a relationship, a linear relationship between the number of hours and the dollar amount. Between the number of hours and the dollar amount. Let me show you another sketch here. Do you guys agree with me that the X and Y are related as well with this in here? What's going on here? As X increases, what happens to Y?
It decreases.
Exactly. So you can say there is a negative linear relationship between X and Y. Here, positive. So guys, when you notice as X goes to the right and Y goes up, it's a positive. Here, as X goes to the right and Y goes down, it's negative. And if you ask me to draw the line of best fit, it will be probably something like that. What I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna do a scatter, just points, and I'm gonna ask you to tell me how would you draw the line of best fit. So watch this. Okay. If you are to draw a line of best fit, guys, where would that line be? Would it be this?
No,
Would it be that?
no, probably be between both lines.
Excellent. This is the line of best fit. It doesn't pass through any of the points because the line of best fit has to be fair to all points. If you let it go through those points, what about the other half? And if you let it go through the first set of points, what about the other half? So make it fair, just pass it in the middle, the center. As you see, the measure of center, the center is where people make compromise, and it's exactly the same way, just for the line. This is called the line of best fit. Let me do another scatter and tell me if you think that they are related with the line. What do you think about this scatter plot? Does it seem like there is a linear relationship here?
No.
No, they don't seem to be connected to a line. I don't know what would that line be. Here we say weak linear relationship. Okay. Now let me show you how we find the equation of this line manually. However, you will not need to find it manually, but you need to understand. If you never had beginning algebra before, guys, it's good to understand how to just find it, and then we're gonna let the calculator do that for us. So I'm gonna take this line. Okay, and I'll tell you what this point and that point called. And I'm gonna put 2 points, just on this line. Let's say A is 2, 4, and B, guys, is, let's make it 5 and 6. So this is a line. Oh, this is X, sorry. And this is the Y right here. Let's find the slope first of all. M. As I told you, the formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is your y2, this is your x2, guys. This is your x1, and this is your y1. So if you want to do the math, your slope will be 6 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 2, which is 2 over 3, and that's the slope. Now, let me give you this point here. This point, guys, is where the line crosses the y-axis, the vertical axis. This is called the y-intercept. So the line crosses the y-axis here at the point 1. I made up those points. I put them in there. In order to write the equation of the line, guys, is a relationship between x and y, and it's written like this. Your calculator already programmed to find this equation. It's mx plus b. M is the slope, and b is called the y-intercept. So if he gives me the y-intercept, guys, which is 1, and he gives me, and I did find the slope, to write the equation is easy. Watch. Y equals, replace m by its value, which is what? 2/3 of x plus 1. And that is the equation of the line. Now, this point, guys, we don't need it, but it's good to know what it's called. It's called the X-intercept. It's where the line crosses the x-axis. What's important to us when we find the equation of the line is the y-intercept, which is 0, 1 here, and the slope, which we found to be 2, 3. So if I ask you this simple question, find the equation of the line whose slope is 5 and has a y-intercept of 2, what would be the equation? Y equals, can you guys help me?
5x plus 2.
Exactly. That's it. So the calculator is going to give you M, and the calculator is going to give you B, but you still have to write the equation. So you just write it as mx plus B. So if anything, I'd like you to memorize, just out of this is this equation, which is called y equals mx plus b. If you are asked to find the equation of the line, which is called the equation of the line of best fit, y equals 5x plus 2. Here is another example. Yeah, we're doing quite a bit of algebra here, guys, because we need to make sure that you have a solid ground, just in this. And if you have solid background, just with the algebra for this one, you will do well in this chapter. Okay, here's another one. Find the equation of the line whose slope is negative 4/5 and whose y-intercept is 0.3. So y equals mx plus b. And can a student tell me what the equation would be?
Y equals -4/5 x plus 3.
All right. Here's another possible question that you're going to see in chapter 9, which is algebra. So this is A. We're going to do B now. Find y when x equals 10. How would you do this? This is not statistics, guys. This is pure algebra. So you already have the equation y equals -4/5 x plus 3. And now I give you x to be 10 and I want y. What would you do in this case?
Just plug 10 into the x spot.
Exactly. So you just take the x and plug it in here. Okay, let's do the order of operations. -4 times 10 is -40, divided by 5 is -8, plus 3, which is -5. That's how you do it. Here's another algebra question you could have. Find y when x equals 3 again. So it's the same thing, guys. You just plug in x equals 3. Plus 3. And you need to do the math. -4 times 3 is -12/5 plus 3. If you divide 12 by 5, you get 2.4, but I have a negative sign, so it's -2.4. And that will be 0.6. D. This is a little bit harder, but it's still algebra. Find x when y equals 5. Any ideas, guys? What do I do here? He gives me y and he wants x.
Substitute 5 for y in the equation.
Exactly. You are correct. So let me walk you through the algebra of doing this, guys. And this is pretty much, after I'm done with this part, this is pretty much the algebra that you need in order to grasp chapter 9 statistical topics. It's going to be a little bit harder here to do that. So I need to solve for x. We need to put the x's on one side and the other numbers on the other side. So you guys subtract 3 from both sides. So you get 2 equals negative 4 over 5 x. Now I need to solve for x, guys. So I need to get rid of negative 4 over 5. How would you guys get rid of negative 4 over 5 here? What do you do?
Divide negative 4 over 5.
Divide both sides by negative 4 over 5. This cancels out. And let me show you how to do 2 divided by negative 4 over 5. I'm going to do it separately. It's 2 over 1. 2 over 1. You change division to multiplication and you flip the second fraction. So it would be negative 5 over 4. It becomes multiplication after you flip the second one. So that will be negative 10 over 4. And now you can divide them using your calculator. And x is negative 2.5. So this is very much the algebra that you guys need in order to understand the topics of chapter 9. There are 2 sections. So I'm going to stop the recording. That ends, the algebra part, and then I'm going to go to my handout for chapter 9.